Hi everyone. In this presentation we will talk about how you can most effectively continue your SEEP fellowship at home. Working from home offers many benefits. For example, you can enjoy the convenience of a flexible schedule and a very short commute. However, working from home can also present a number of challenges. It can be harder to create a schedule, to stay on task, or to complete the things you need to do. Luckily, our team is remote, so we have some good tips to share with you. Before we get started, here's a few things we're hoping you will take away from this training. Each of our trainings comes with learning outcomes to give you an idea if this is a training you think will be helpful. By the end of this training, we hope that you will have learned how to adapt your workspace to a virtual setting, how to create new routines, how to maintain your well-being while working from home, and how to use different forms of online communication. Successfully working from home requires planning and intention. You have to be ready. Develop a routine and maintain a regular schedule. Create an area of your space that is dedicated to work to help maintain your work-life balance. You want a separation between your work and your personal life now that they exist in the same physical space. Try to be flexible and adaptable in order to overcome these new challenges. Our fellowship and the voter engagement semester changes regularly, and it's important that you are able to adapt quickly to any new changes. Make an effort to be disciplined by creating rules for yourself and sticking to them. Staying disciplined while working from home with all of the distractions of home can be extremely difficult, but it's also extremely important. And finally, remember, you can do this. We're all in this together, and SEEP is here to support you along the way. Next, we'll outline 4 methods that can help support your productivity while you begin working from home. We're going to cover how to select a location for your workspace, how to create and maintain a reasonable routine, how to organize your work materials in a way that works best for you, and how to effectively use Zoom. Dedicating a specific workspace in your home is an important first step in working remotely. When working from the comfort of your own home, it can be easy to become overwhelmed and feel as though you're always at work. It's best to select an area that is otherwise unused or less used, like a quiet corner or a spare room. If possible, avoid using a space that has many distractions or that is usually intended for relaxing. We recommend that you only do work when you are in your chosen workspace and avoid working from your couch or your bed. There are a number of reasons why working from your bed is a bad idea. Not only is it bad for your physical health and posture, it is unhelpful from a psychological perspective. According to one article, if you work in every room of your house, you will start to associate your home with work, making it very difficult to switch off from work and creating unhealthy imbalance in your work-life routine. Ideally, you need a space that is specifically for work that you can close the door on when you want to switch off for an evening. It's important to preserve those as places for you to unplug and unwind. Be intentional and try not to let work creep into your free time or vice versa. I am fortunate enough to have an office in my basement. At the end of my workday, I shut down my computer, turn off the lights, and head upstairs. This helps me to focus when I'm working, and it allows my brain to be completely off of work when I'm no longer on the clock. A routine can help to delineate your workspace as separate from the rest of your home. The biggest things to avoid in your new workspace is anything that could be a distraction. This includes other people, pets, clutter, or electronic distractions like a TV or a phone. That being said, we understand that not everyone has the ability to create this ideal work environment. So we hope that you are able to incorporate as many of these suggestions as possible in order to find a workspace that works for you. Your five senses can help create mental and physical boundaries that cultivate a productive mindset when you're in your workspace. Consider how you can use each one to help you feel calm and focused. In the previous slide, we talked about using your five senses and being productive in your home workspace. Each of those suggestions work best when used regularly in the course of your daily routine. Again, our habitual behavior can be an important way to keep the lines from blurring between work and home. Keep a detailed schedule and stick to it. Staying in pajamas all day is tempting, but we highly recommend getting up at the same time each morning and getting ready for the day, just like you were going to be leaving the house. For example, if you start your day with taking a shower, brushing your teeth, and making coffee, stick to that routine. One member of the SEEP staff packs a lunch at the same time as they're making breakfast in the morning, just like they would if they were working away from home. Schedule out your days using an app or a paper planner. Build in intentional, meaningful break times to use the bathroom, grab some water or those favorite workday snacks, or stretch your legs. Be sure to schedule separate times for work and for school. It's best not to bounce between work and school projects to help you maintain your focus on each. This is a good way to structure your day to make sure you are just as productive as you would be on campus. Think about your routine for the end of the day as well. You might tidy your desk, review tomorrow's schedule, or write out your goals for the following day. Looking over your goals can help you make clear decisions about prioritizing your time the next morning. Now, close your laptop, blow out your candle, and change out of your work clothes. Time to relax. Another important aspect of working from home is finding the communication method that works best for you. SEEP uses Slack, Google, and Zoom for the majority of our communication, but we are constantly trying new platforms to find one that works best for our team. Every platform has its benefits and drawbacks, so you might want to explore each of them to see which one fits your needs best. We know many of you may already be familiar with Zoom, but we also know that you will probably be using it a lot more in the coming weeks. That's why we're going to go over making your own Zoom account, if you don't have one already, hosting a webinar or a meeting, and some tips for basic Zoom etiquette. Our team has also created a list of Zoom FAQs that will be made available to you. To create your personal Zoom account, just go to the Zoom website, that's zoom.us, download the appropriate app, Mac or PC, and follow the instructions under Sign Up for Free. You can still log into Zoom meetings without a personal account, but having a personal account allows you to have your own meeting room and smooths the process of logging on to a meeting. Hosting a webinar or meeting on Zoom is very similar to holding an in-person meeting. You schedule a time to meet, send out the agenda beforehand, and make sure that everyone has the correct Zoom link. During the meeting, make sure you take notes. Facilitate the discussion however you see fit, whether people raise their hands or call on each other or just jump in. Remember, it's much easier to accidentally talk over someone during a Zoom meeting, so take care and be patient. After the meeting, recap everything you covered and send it out with action items in an email to everyone who was in the meeting. Here are a few tips on basic Zoom etiquette. Send out the correct Zoom link beforehand. Mute yourself when you aren't speaking. Keep your video on and look into the camera. Eliminate distractions and focus on the meeting. Be aware of your background, and if you're hosting, stick around until the end. All of this being said, SEEP uses Zoom because we enjoy face-to-face conversation. We understand that it is not always an option to have your camera turned on, given your background or the people you're living with. But one of the things that makes Zoom great is the ability to mute yourself and to turn off your camera. Or, if you're unable to join on a computer or by app, you have the option of phoning in. We make these suggestions with the understanding that you may not be able to use all of them, but we hope that you will take them into account while working with us and in other areas of your professional life. There are lots of other ways to communicate while working remotely, but no matter which one you choose, make a point of setting clear boundaries and expectations so that each person knows how and when to reach out and how often they'll hear from you. Since we depend so much on facial expression, gestures, and other body language when speaking, much can be lost when you're only communicating virtually. When in doubt, it's better to over-communicate than under-communicate. Another important aspect of communication while working remotely is setting boundaries. When you're working from home, setting boundaries helps you maintain a line between work and personal life, which is necessary for taking care of yourself. Make sure that you set boundaries early on when you start working from home. It might look like limiting your methods of communication to only email and Slack, or it can be something like limiting communication to only certain hours of the day. No matter what you choose, decide what your boundaries are and stick to them. Last, let's talk about taking care of yourself when you're working from home. Being at home for both your workday and your free time can lead to cabin fever, especially if you don't have the ability to go out and meet with friends. There's a little bit of biology behind the feelings of loneliness you might have while working from home. All it means is that you need some human contact. Feelings of loneliness and isolation are very real, especially working from home and relaxing from home. Everyone needs human interaction, so it is important that you are very intentional about your day to ensure that you give yourself the social and physical breaks you need. Here we have a few ways you can avoid feelings of loneliness or isolation. Cook something new, try a new hobby, or plan a virtual date with some friends. Lots of people have been doing virtual happy hours and virtual coffee dates to continue that social interaction without leaving your home. New technologies are also creating new ways to connect with others. For example, streaming services are offering virtual watch parties, musicians are offering online concerts, and some museums and national parks are even offering virtual tours. Working from home can feel very lonely sometimes, especially if you live by yourself. The feelings of loneliness that you might have are just your brain telling you that you need other people to stimulate the part that connects to others and allows you to socialize. Now, this can be tricky. Oftentimes, our feelings of loneliness make us want to isolate ourselves further. But that's not why we get these feelings. When we feel lonely, it just means that we have not had enough social interaction that day. You can fix this by reaching out to someone to chat, making plans with friends or family in the future, or finding comfort in a consistent schedule. Try planning a virtual lunch with a friend every Friday, or going for a walk with a neighbor every Tuesday. The schedule and consistency may bring you comfort. Find something that works for you, but if you start to feel lonely, reach out. Remember, patience, understanding, empathy. There may be some hiccups in adjusting to working remotely. Whether it's projects being dropped or working up to your usual productivity, be forgiving to your coworkers and to yourself. Working from home brings many benefits. More flexibility to your schedule, taking breaks at home, no travel time. Working from home is a really great way to work, and we hope that our SEEP staff will be able to help you in anything you may need so that you may enjoy your working from home experience. Thank you all for joining us. Be sure to check out and follow us on social media or Join our Slack channel for conversations and idea sharing with our fellows across the U.S. Once again, welcome to SEAT.